Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is the first South Wales derby of the season and we are only into the third league game of the new campaign. The Liberty Stadium is the venue this afternoon as this fixture continues its 94-year long history. For the home side, Swansea, they have got one win and one defeat from their opening two championship games, with a 1-0 loss away at Middlesbrough on the opening weekend, but bounced back with a superb 3-0 win at home to Preston North End. It has been a disastrous start though for Cardiff, who have got no points from their opening six available after a home defeat to start the season against Sunderland and then a 5-0 battering to Burnley at Turf Moor last weekend. Cardiff are the only team in the division without a single point. Just 5 points and 2 positions separated these two sides last season, with Cardiff having the more successful season. But the head-to-head was equal as Cardiff won 2-0 at home in mid-September, but Swansea got their revenge with their own 2-0 win at the beginning of February. So, on this late August Sunday afternoon, will it be Swansea or Cardiff who will win the South Wales bragging rights? It's a fixture that I have never commentated on, but I've always looked to try, and it's the first time I'm getting the chance to, and I'm very excited. It's two teams who are trying their hardest to get back on the up, back towards the playoff spots, wanting to aim for a Premier League return. Of course, Swansea, not that long ago, were in the Premier League themselves in the 2017-18 season. They were relegated in 18th from the Premier League, and Cardiff have been away since the 2019 season. They also finished 18th to be relegated, so it's not that long since these two sides have been Premier League teams, but they've been slumped in the Championship now for a good few seasons, and they've just had very inconsistent finishes in the Championship. I mean, if we look at Swansea, since they've come back from the Premier League, they finished 10th, 6th, 4th, then 15th, 10th, 14th last season. It's been a bit up and down. They've had seasons where they have reached playoffs, but then there's other seasons where they've been absolutely nowhere near. And it's similar for Cardiff as well. The first season back in the Championship, they finished in 5th, then 8th, then 18th, then 21st, and then 12th last season. So they have definitely grown last season compared to the season before when they were near the relegation zone. And both have had newish managers. You could say Luke Williams joined Swansea back in January of this year. He took charge of 25 games in all competitions and have won 10, and 7 of those 10 wins have been at home at the Liberty Stadium. And for Cardiff, this is their second season under Erol Bulut, the Turkish manager. He's taking charge of his 49th Championship game. He's looking for his 20th win. So it's definitely two managers that have taking their teams up a level. For Swansea, their style of play is definitely looking a lot better under Luke Williams. I watched Luke Williams' Notts County team a lot when he was with Notts County in the National League and in League Two, and it's a very technical way of playing. It's a lot of patterns, it's a lot of structure, and all players need to be very technically gifted to play his way. And then for Cardiff as well, they've just become a lot harder to beat. It seems last season they won 9 on the road. Cardiff winning 3 of the last 6 away at Birmingham, Coventry and Bristol, but they did lose 6 of the last 10 away from home. So if they could possibly improve their away form a little bit, Cardiff, compared to how it ended last season, then they could definitely get themselves up the table. It's not the best of starts though for Erol Bulut, their manager, of course, losing that first game of the season at home by 2-0 to Sunderland, and then losing away at Burnley last week 5-0. And in fairness, it was probably the worst time to play Burnley because that's when they had all their players available. You might remember yesterday, Burnley got beat against Sunderland away, and half of their squad wasn't there because a lot of them are going out of the door. So it was rather unfortunate for Cardiff to play Burnley when they did, but that game's over. They don't have to worry about that anymore, but they do need to start picking up points, and it doesn't get much easier in the Championship for Cardiff. They've got League Cup action on Wednesday against Southampton, so that's a little bit of a distraction, but then they've got Middlesbrough at home in the league, and then after the international break they've got to go away to Derby, newly promoted. They're not having a bad start to their season, so there's never an easy fixture in this league, but it certainly doesn't get a lot easier for Cardiff, who are the only team in this division at the moment who haven't picked up a single point. Everyone at least has 1 point from their opening 3 games, and I mean, what a way to kickstart your season if you're going to get 3 points, if they want to max out and get all three. I mean, what a place to go and do it. You know, they have only won 5 of the last 15 against Swansea. Cardiff, it's not exactly a fixture they enjoy. They last won away here 1-0 back in March 2021, but there was no supporters in the ground. So their travelling support will be looking for their first win for some, I think it was 13 years since the last time that Cardiff won here at Swansea, whilst there was supporters in the ground. And for Swansea, they have won 6 of the last 8 of this fixture. 5 of the last 6 at home they have won. So in terms of a recent record, it's definitely Swansea who are preferring this fixture, but it's Derby Day and anything can happen, and Cardiff know they'll have to be on their, A game if they want anything from this. Not just because it's a derby and it's bragging rights, but they need to get points on the board. If you start slow, sometimes teams find it difficult to really get going in a season, so they don't want to go into that international break coming up without a win, because like I say, they've got Middlesbrough coming up next weekend at home. Under Michael Carrick, they're a very difficult team to face. So for sure, it's definitely Cardiff who have probably got all the pressure really in terms of trying to get something from this game. Swansea know if they play their usual game and are at their high standards that they will probably come out victorious, but any lapses of concentration or certain players just not turning up today, then Cardiff will be there to pounce and they'll be looking to get 3 points themselves. So it'll be very interesting to see exactly how this game will pan out. We'll go through both sets of teams as well. You can see them on screen, and we'll start with Swansea in the home side. They are unchanged from their last lineup against Preston last week, and it is Lawrence Vigouroux in goal, who has been brought in from Burnley this summer for an undisclosed fee. A back four. At the right back will be Josh Key. At left back is Josh Tymon, and the 2 centre halves of Ben Cabango and Harry Darling. 2 holding midfielders. One is a new signing, that's Gonzalo Franco, who's been brought in this summer on a 4-year contract, formerly of Porto. And alongside him is the captain, and that is Matt Grimes, who's been at the club now coming up to 10 years. He joined all the way back in January 2015 from Exeter. 3 behind the striker. On the right will be Eon Ji Sung, a South Korean right winger who's joining Swansea, and it's his first ever club outside of South Korea. On the left is going to be the Brazilian winger Ronaldo, who can play on both sides, but he'll be playing on the left-hand side this afternoon. And then the number 10, playing in the number 10 role, but is number 31, and that is Ollie Cooper, who has been at Swansea since the under-12 level. And through the middle, leading the line, will be Liam Cullen, who has got 1 goal so far this season, and that was off the bench in their League Cup victory against Gillingham at home. The away side is Ethan Horvath in goal. Made a huge mistake for one of those 5 goals that they conceded at Burnley, but he keeps his spot. Back 4 is going to be Perry in G, Callum Chambers, Jesper Darland and Callum O'Dowda. 2 other midfielders of Manolis Siopis and Alex Robertson. 3 behind the striker of Yaku Mate, Aaron Ramsey the captain, and a new signing on a free from QPR, that is Chris Willock. And through the middle, the number 15 on loan from Hertha Berlin, and that is Wilfred Kanga, who is yet to score for his new club. So we're about to get underway here at the Liberty Stadium. It's Swansea against Cardiff in the South Wales derby, the first of the season. They both won a derby each last campaign, both winning at home. Can Cardiff upset the party here and get a win away from home here? Something they haven't done since March 2021. And they just need to vastly improve on what they've already performed like this season. Cardiff, 2 games, 2 defeats in the league. 7 goals conceded and they're yet to score 1 themselves. The only game they've scored in so far, Cardiff, was their 2-0 home win in the League Cup first round against Bristol Rovers. But in the league, it's just simply not been good enough. So we're about to get underway here for the 77th South Wales derby. Swansea have 34 wins. They've had 18 draws, and Cardiff have won 24. Who will take the victory this time around? It will be Cardiff to kick off, kicking left to right. Swansea right to left for this 3 o'clock kick-off. We are waiting for the referee's whistle of Oliver Langford, as the referee just checking his watch, making sure we're on time. And eventually he'll blow the whistle. Cardiff kick us off, going to their back line of Callum Chambers, who will send a long ball out to their right-hand side, where Kanga goes for the header, but it's been won by a Swansea defender. But Ramsey's picks it up and completes a 1-2 with Kanga, but then is dispossessed there by Harry Darling, and then Swansea trying to get away down their left-hand side. Ronald is tackled, and it is a Swansea throw-in on this near side. Almost a quick start there for Cardiff. Aaron Ramsey trying to get through the Swansea defence there as they've got the ball up towards the halfway line here with Cullen. Loses out though there to Cardiff's Alex Robertson, who's been brought in for £1 million from Manchester City. He was linked heavily with Portsmouth, who he was on loan with last season, won the League One title with them. Missed the second half of the season though with injury, but whilst he was playing in that first half before the injury, Portsmouth fans very much liked what they saw, but he chose Cardiff instead of Portsmouth, as it is the away side who have started the Brides here, and they attack down the left-hand side here with Robertson playing it to Willock, through to O'Dowda, who keeps the ball away there from the Swansea press. Good play here, Ramsey, tackle, kept in though by Willock, who sends it back to O'Dowda. And it's now their number 5, the new signing of Jesper Darland, brought in for around £3.5 million from the Belgian league. As in G at right back on the halfway line, gives it away here. Poor ball, picked up by Josh Timon for Swansea, and he's just fouled there, a little bit too aggressive. The press there from Yaku Mete, the number 19. Do apologise, he's number 22 on screen, but he is number 19 for Cardiff. He's making his 197th Championship appearance. He also played for Reading in this division for 3 years before moving here to Cardiff last season. Swansea haven't really got themselves on the ball yet in terms of playing it around, and Cabango can't quite keep that ball in on the far side, just inside the Swansea half, so it's a Cardiff throw-in. He didn't play any minutes in the South Wales derbies last season, Ben Cabango, and his last goal he scored was against Cardiff. It was a 3-2 away win for Swansea back in April 2023, where he scored a 99th minute winner. The scenes from that game and the away end when he scored that goal was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, didn't feature in any of the derbies last season. Swansea's number 5 as Cardiff have got another throw-in on the far side, where it's in the hands of Chris Willock, and he drops it. And the throw-in will eventually be taken. We play 2.5 minutes here at the Liberty Stadium, or the Swansea.com Stadium for, it's usually the Liberty Stadium. As Chris Willock towards the byline, can he fit the crossing? He can before it goes out, and headed towards goal by Mate. He goes quite far wide, but as I've said, it's been a decent start here for Cardiff. Definitely the better side. On that left wing, Chris Willock just about able to work the crossing. It wasn't blocked, and he wasn't closed down quick enough by Josh Key. And then the header from Yaku Mete was a couple of yards wide in the end. Swansea build out from the back with their goalkeeper Vigouroux being closed down there by Kanga. Clips it down the Swansea left, straight out of play on the halfway line for a Cardiff City throw-in with Perry Ng, who has won Cardiff's Player of the Year for the last 2 seasons. He's making his 149th Cardiff appearance, coming up towards 150 for Perry Ng, who throws it into Siopis, who gives it away, and then Ng brings down Cooper, but he wins the ball, and it's going to be a Swansea City throw-in with their left back Josh Timon, brought in last season in the summer for £2 million from Stoke City. His throw-in is headed on by Ronald, but he can't quite find a white shirt there, and it's been forced back by Robertson into the goalkeeper Horvath with his right foot, plays it towards the left back here, and it's O'Dowda with it. Tries to take on Swansea's number 10 there of Eom Ji-sung, and it's been blocked off by the South Korean. And in a left back position, it will be a Cardiff City free kick. Yeah, on the ball, Ethan Horvath, the Cardiff City goalkeeper, made quite a big mistake last week against Burnley. Just looked a little bit anxious when he was given the ball there by Alex Robertson, the Australian, but was able to get it to the left back, and Cardiff City have got themselves a free kick. It'll be taken by their new centre-back signing of Jesper Darland, formerly an under-21 international for Norway, as the free kick's headed straight back forward for Swansea, and they're in behind, edge of the box, the shot's taken, and it's quite a comfortable save in the end there. Tried to get it away early, Liam Cullen. Ball was played forward, and it was a free, easy header for Cabango, and he absolutely stormed that header deep into the Cardiff half. Liam Cullen took it on, slightly isolated, rushed the shot, fell over as he took it, and it was a comfortable save right at Ethan Horvath in the end. As Cardiff play out from the back with their right back in G. Can't get away from Ronald, but he can win the second tackle there, the Brazilian winger, And it's now with Cooper, tackle strongly, but it drops here to Cullen. It goes back to Grimes. And now on the halfway line here with Josh Key, who brings it forward. It's now with Eon, the South Korean winger, tries to turn away from O'Dowda. The last touch comes off the Cardiff fullback, and it'll be a Swansea City throw-in. Like I say, just over 5 minutes in here, and Swansea have not really had any settled possession so far. Obviously, they've had that early shot there with Liam Cullen, but it was never going to trouble the American goalkeeper of Horvath and the Cardiff goal. Swansea have been forced back to the halfway line here with Ben Cabango, 6'1" Welsh international. As they try and get it over the top into the Cardiff box, headed away by Ng, and then tackled away there by Josh Timon. And that'll be a Cardiff City throw-in in their right-back position. But it'll be taken by number 38, Perry Ng, who's playing in his 5th South Wales derby. And there is Luke Williams, just 43 years of age, the Swansea manager. Came in from Notts County at the start of this year. Just 8 wins from his first 22 games in charge in the Championship. As the throw-in goes forward, and the last touch comes off Mate of Cardiff, so it'll be a Swansea throw-in, taken quickly in their own half to get things back underway, and it's thrown to the number 6 of Harry Darling, who's just got 1 year left on his contract here at Swansea. Came through the Cambridge Academy, made his 75th appearance for Swansea last week against Preston. And he's still on the ball here, goes across to his centre-back partner of Cabango, who has it on the halfway line. There's been a run made forward on the right side by the right-back Key, heads it into Eon, back to Key, forward from full-back, facing towards his own goal, and plays it back here to the number 31 of Ollie Cooper, who has just the 1 appearance for Wales, and that was a late substitute appearance against Latvia back in March of 2023. That's Swansea starting to play here. Good football. Darling, centre-half, found himself in the left-wing position, and he's been tackled by Ng, and he left one on the Cardiff full-back there. A little bit of a shove on the edge of the area. It just shows exactly how fluid Swansea City can be with the centre-back finding himself in the left-wing position. Just overran it. Ng got there and cleared the ball, but as he cleared it, Darling just left a little bit of a shoulder barge on the number 38. Not just a shoulder barge, a little bit of an aggressive one, it must be said. And the referee just having a word. No booking for sure. I think Ng's made a lot of that in fairness. Oh no. Left a little one on his left leg as the boot of Darling was going onto the floor. He's kind of caught the leg of Ng. But he's okay. He's back to his feet, the right back. And we'll get back underway here. Just under 8 minutes in. Swansea definitely starting to grow into the game now after Cardiff. We're just looking the more dangerous side in the early minutes of the game. Not doing anything towards the goal, but trying to get themselves forward as quickly as possible. As the free kick's flicked on with the head of Willock. No one making a run beyond the Swansea defence. So it'll be picked up on the edge of the area by number 5, Ben Cabango. He's played at right centre-half this afternoon. Going across to Matt Grimes, the number 8, the captain, who's just sat in between the 2 centre-backs here. He's definitely a deep-line playmaker, Matt Grimes. Can find a pass from afar, cutting through opposition defences. Is the right-back Key being followed here by O'Dowda, who gets the tackle in. And the kick forward goes to Willock, who gets away from Eon. Plays it inside here to Ramsey, back heel to Robertson. Moves it on once more here. It's good football from Cardiff. As there's a late challenge there. No, yes, says the referee, as Cardiff wanted the advantage, but the referee's pulled it back. There was just a late foul there on Malanis Siopis, the Greek holding midfielder. And the referee tried to play the advantage and then kind of didn't wait long enough. The ball went forward, out wide left, and it would have been a great opportunity for Cardiff, but then the referee blew the whistle anyway. So Cardiff left rather frustrated, because like I said, the former QPR winger, Chris Willock, was gone down that left-hand side. But the referee blew his whistle. It is a foul, in fairness, by Liam Cullen, the Swansea City striker. As again, Cardiff go long from the free kick, and it's gone into the 18-yard box, but no one's making the run. Really poor by Callum Chambers. Needs to be doing better than that. And he goes straight out for a Swansea City goal kick. And at home, at the start of last season, they didn't really start off very well here at the Liberty Stadium. They won 2 of their first 11 home games in the league against Sheffield Wednesday and Norwich. So they need to have an improvement on that in terms of a start at home. You know, they want to make this place a fortress. As the ball goes in the box here for Swansea, and there's a volley towards goal. It drops nicely for Ronald. It's a great save by the goalkeeper. And it drops for Cullen, who from a couple of yards out puts it into the back of the net. And Swansea City take the lead within the first 10 minutes of this first South Wales derby. It's his second strike at goal in the game. The first one was from the edge of the area, didn't really trouble Horvath, but he didn't have him to beat that time. Open goal for Liam Cullen. It's his first goal of the season in the league. It was well built down the left-hand side for Swansea. Darling's ball was deflected inside, and then they worked it back out wide to Timon, the left-back. And Cullen tried the first shot, and it actually turned out to be quite a nice pass to Ronald, whose shot across goal was well saved by Horvath, but he could only parry it out into danger, where Cullen remained in that 6-yard box, waiting for any possible rebound, and that's exactly what he got. Beat O'Dowda to it, and from a couple of yards out, smashed it into the back of the net. He could not miss Swansea's number 20. It's a brilliant start for the home side. Luke Williams is delighted. And just over 11 minutes in, Swansea City 1, Cardiff 0. For the mistakes he made last week, Ethan Horvath made a great save there on Ronald's strike, the Brazilian left winger. Really needed to get a strong left hand to it, but he wasn't helped by his defence when the ball came back out towards the danger area. And it was well finished there as Cardiff attack now in the box. The deflected ball into the 6-yard area and caught there by Vigouroux, as it was Chris Willock the closest to it. And it's Swansea who have the lead here. Cullen gave them the lead in the last derby, which was played here back in mid-March of this year. So yeah, it is the Swans who take the lead against the Bluebirds here at the Liberty Stadium. He won't have an easier finish than that, Liam Cullen. It's Darling brought to the ground there by Mate, just inside by Kanga, just inside the centre circle. Swansea free kick, taken quickly out to this near side. It's Grimes forward here to Ronald. Goes back to Grimes in the Swansea half. They do like to keep the ball here under Luke Williams. Here is the number 6, Harry Darling, who's brilliant with the ball at his feet. The 25-year-old. Just turned 25 a couple of weeks ago. And it's starting to settle into the patterns of play that we would expect in this game. Swansea having the majority of the ball here. It's with Grimes, the captain, again. Going out wide to Ronald, who can drive inside onto his right foot, looking for the next pass, and it's a really poor pass, given straight to number 18, Alex Robertson. That's now Mate, the right winger on the halfway line, surrounded by 3 white shirts. He plays it back, and he's caught as he plays it. It's an aggressive challenge, but he gets back to his feet, and it will be a free kick for Cardiff. And the Cardiff manager, Errol Bullitt, just letting the referee know that's 3 challenges now from Swansea City, which have been rather aggressive and quite strong. That one was by Gonzalo Franco, the new Swansea Portuguese central midfielder, just going in late there on Yaku Mate, former PSG academy player. Cardiff start again with their goalkeeper. Really poor ball to the right centre half of Chambers. Again, he's getting it from behind him from the Cardiff supporters. And it's a throw-in for Swansea on this near side in the final third. It's just so poor from Ethan Horvath. It just looks so shaky when the ball goes to him, when he has to play with his feet. And Swansea can camp in the Cardiff half and look for an opening to try and double their lead if possible. It's on the right side here with Key. Going back towards his own goal here to Cabango. Good pressing here from Cardiff, forcing Swansea back deep into their own half. And it's in their 18-yard box here with number 22, Lawrence Vigouroux, who's currently playing in goal for the injured Andy Fisher, out with a groin injury at the moment. Swansea's number 1 goalkeeper. Diagonal ball out to the right for Swansea. It's a brilliant ball, and Eom can control it. Plays it into Cooper. Sorry about that, but we've got a Swansea corner as they were attacking down that right-hand side there in the end. Oh, it's not a corner. I thought it deflected. It's a goal kick. Do apologise. Goal kick for Cardiff, sent long by Chambers up to the halfway line, headed on by Kanga towards Mate, who will challenge with Cabango, and it will be One there for Swansea as the loose ball dropped to Darling. It's now down the left channel again here to Ronaldo, keeping it away from Ng. And Ng ends up fouling the Swansea number 35, who they brought in January from Brazil for around £1 million. Ronaldo, just making his 20th Swansea start of his career, 23-year-old. Scored 3 times last season. Got a brace against Sunderland and then one against Huddersfield. All those 3 goals coming away from the Liberty Stadium. Almost got his first goal here in the league, because he has scored here this season against Gillingham in the League Cup. Swansea are going to work it down the right-hand side this time. It's Ki to Eo, South Korean winger, who was offside as the ball was played to him. That's the only guess I can give for why the referee's blown the whistle. Oh no, the ball's... I have no idea why he stopped play, because the referee just picked the ball up and dropped it back to Key, the Swansea right back. Not sure why the play was stopped there as the cross goes into the box on the penalty spot, headed away by Chambers. Still alive here for Swansea as they play it into the middle here. Franco to Grimes and then back into the centre circle here to Darling. Well kept there by the Swansea captain. Darling to this near side now to Ronaldo, who's going to run at Meite. Cuts onto his right foot on the edge of the area. Tries to cross it. It's a low ball and it's cleared by Chambers. Cardiff push out. And it drops straight to Darling, who nods it back out wide here to Ronaldo. And then back to the halfway line to Darling. And Swansea have now got full control of this game. It was a little bit back and forth in the opening couple of minutes. No one really taking control, but Swansea have got all of that control now as we're 16 and a half minutes in and they have the lead here at the Liberty Stadium. Liam Cullen with the goal. Swansea still have it in their own half, as Swansea did start last season with Michael Duff, who they brought in from Barnsley, but it didn't quite work out with him. So they brought in Luke Williams, and they're now starting to play a lot better football here as Cardiff have the ball back just on this near side. Ramsey around the corner here for Meite into the space. It doesn't look like the flag's going up here. Can he keep it in here, the right winger? He can. He can put a bobbling ball across. Just about dealt with by Cabango in the 6-yard box. And he'll bounce around. Ronaldo getting back here for Swansea. Shoved to the ground by Ramsey. And that'll be a free kick in a left-back position for Swansea City. Good defensive work there by Ronaldo, as it was Ng who won it back for Cardiff. It was a good ball by Ramsey into the space, and it did look like Meite was onside there, but the ball across was poor. Like I say, just made it bobble along, and even if Kanga, the striker, had got there, it would have been difficult for him to finish. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic here. So Swansea are going to take this free kick that they've got in a left-back position. It's going to be taken by the left boot of the goalkeeper, Vigouroux, who goes long. It's a big clearance up towards Liam Cullen, but doesn't quite reach him in the end, goes beyond him, in fact, and into the gloves of the goalkeeper, Ethan Horvath, who now has it for Cardiff, goes to the right centre-half of Chambers, and he plays it behind him. It's another poor pass. The Cardiff City fans aren't happy, and Chambers has to clear it along towards the halfway line. Headed won by Darling, flicked on by Franco, but intercepted by Robertson, who can play it out to the left now to O'Dowda on the halfway line. Cardiff have a bit of the ball, something they've not had for a while in this game. Chambers, being closed down here by Cooper, goes to the right here to Ng, then forward. Played back to Ng by Ramsey, and then Ng goes long down the line looking for Meite. As it bounces, and Meite still chases. He challenges Darling, but Darling wins it. It's played inside by Timon, and then back to Darling. Extreme Kobe with the £1 donation. Thank you very much, mate. I hope you're doing okay. Very much appreciate that donation. Thanks for supporting. Hope you're doing well, pal. As we're just less than 20 minutes into this South Wales derby, and it's Swansea 1, Cardiff 0. Cullen with the early goal from a saved Ronaldo shot. Well, saved, in fact, by the Cardiff goalkeeper, but wasn't helped out by his defence, who let Liam Cullen get there first and strike into an open goal. As the Swansea goalkeeper has it, just outside the 18-yard box, goes to the left here to Darling. Goes inside to the halfway line to Franco. Now to the left to Timon, the left back. And then back into Darling here. Cabango. Midway side, the Swansea half here, the centre half, not really being closed down by Kanga. He then plays it forward to Grimes. Out to the right to Key. It's all in the Swansea half still. Darling forward, try to break the lines, but G gets there, but it deflects away from him, and it's played forward by Timon to Ronald, and Swansea looking for a second in the box, trying to get onto his right foot, but he's stopped in his tracks by recovering in G, and cleared away by Chambers. Good defending in the end there by Perry and G, who got quite unfortunate the way he lost the ball, deflected away from him, straight to Swansea, who broke rather quickly. But Swansea going to try and go forward again here. Cooper to Ronald. Cooper making a run in behind, he'll be fed through here, but Chambers sweeps it up. Clears away for Cardiff. That's thrown for Swansea on this near side. Just took Swansea about 5 minutes to get into the game, but once they've got into it, they have been the better side by far. As it's Darling on the halfway line. Everyone in front of him in a white shirt here has been closed down by Ramsey. Goes down over the challenge of Aaron Ramsey, and nothing's been given. Oh, it has been given as a foul. That is lucky for Darling, because he was looking for that foul, because he got himself in a bit of a pickle. Kept hold of the ball too long, wasn't really any clear options for him. So he's felt the tiniest bit of contact from Ramsey, and he goes down over the challenge. That's just not a free kick for me at all. So soft. And he's got away with that. Harry Darling, who's had a good start to the game as well at the back for Swansea, bringing the ball forward. As Cardiff win it back with Willock, cleared by O'Dowda, but the ball wasn't kept in. Just trickled out of play. So, not quite sure who's throwing that is. It's Swansea throwing. It's now in the centre circle with Darling. Plenty of time on the ball for the Swansea number 6. Goes to his right, to his centre-back partner of Cabango. He's going to go back across to Darling. Now Cooper. Almost in the left-back position, the Swansea number 31. Going back to Darling towards the edge of the Swansea 18-yard box. So patient in their build-up, Swansea, not always forcing it forward. Grimes plays to the right centre-back of Cabango. Being closed down by Kanga. Sends it long down the right-hand side, and it runs out of play. Throwing for Cardiff, midway side their own half. In a left-back position to be taken by number 11, Callum O'Dowda, who was brought in 2 seasons ago now from Bristol City on a free. 30 caps for Ireland, O'Dowda, so plenty of international experience. And he has scored once in this against Swansea. That was for Bristol back in the 18-19 season. As he throws it long into the Swansea half, headed away by Key. Can't be flicked on by Franco, but it does drop to Eom, the South Korean winger. And he is brought down and fouled on the halfway line. And despite the protest of innocence from Alex Robertson, the Australian, the referee obviously stands by his decision. It just caught the left knee of Eom Ji-sung. Probably a right decision to give a free kick there. So Swansea have it far side. Grimes going back to keep the ball with Cabango. But Swansea did have to play under an interim for 5 games before hiring Luke Williams from Notts County. They made sure they got their man that they wanted. As a ball over the top here is found Cullen just outside the 18-yard box towards the byline on that far side, being tracked by Chambers. Plays it back to Key. It's now Grimes turning away from Robertson and lifting it for the runner Key from right back. He controls it well. Takes on O'Dowda. Can't get away from Willock, who can bring the ball away for Cardiff. Still with Willock. Finds Robertson. Turns in the midfield and switches it out to the right into space towards Meite. Can't quite keep it in though. Bounces away from the French right wing, from the Ivorian right winger. And that'll be a throw-in for Swansea. It's not keeping it very well, Cardiff. When they get the ball, they're rushing it forward a little bit too quickly. There's Cabango beyond the halfway line for Swansea, playing out to the right to Key. Goes back into Cabango. As for Cardiff, they ended last season, pretty poorly. 6 losses from their last 9 games. The other 3 games that weren't losses were wins, but again, just losing a few too many at the back end of last season, which meant they did finish in a 12th position, which is a lot better than the season before when they finished in 21st. But definitely need to be picking up their form, because their form wasn't great back end of last season. It's not great at the start of this season, so something needs to change. There's a long diagonal ball in towards the 18-yard box. Can't quite be kept in by Ronald for Swansea. And it's a goal kick for Cardiff, who've just not grown into this game at all, really. Just don't look comfortable when they have it. It can be quite the atmosphere during these South Wales derbies. As Cardiff play out from the back, right centre half for Chambers. Playing it to the right back in G, being closed down by Ronald. Goes back to Chambers, who clears it first time. It's a long ball towards halfway. Headed forward by Franco. As far as Robertson, who finds Aaron Ramsey. Back to the right back in G. Forward here to Siopis, who can turn away from one and then poke it away from another, but pokes it straight out of play for a Swansea throw-in. Again, just not a lot of options on for Cardiff when they have it. Manolis Siopis that time giving away possession. Brought him in on a free last season from Trabzonspor. 30-year-old now. It's now Cabango for Swansea from right centre-back. Forward to Cooper, then out wide to Key. Midway inside the Cardiff half. Plays it into the middle to Franco. Forward towards Eom, cut out by Chambers. Poked away. Can only find Darling on the halfway line. It's now Grimes across to Cabango. Shows the gate. I can't, unfortunately, show you the game. I wish I could. But copyright would strike me down very quickly, and I'd rather not deal with that. So I do apologise that you can only see my face and hear my voice. As again, Swansea building beautifully. Franco moving it away from Siopis just in time before he slid in. Advantage is played. Time in the left back will cross it in beautifully. It's palmed away by the goalkeeper. And it will be key to get there for Swansea, the right back right next to the corner flag. Can he maybe win a set piece? He's kicked it off the number 5 for Cardiff of Jesper Darland, and that'll be a throw-in for Swansea. It's a great ball in there by Josh Timon, the left back. Almost perfectly placed, but it was just palmed away by the goalkeeper of Ethan Horvath. And again, 27 minutes in, Swansea 1, Cardiff 0. It's all Swansea so far. Score prediction. Based off the opening 27.5 minutes of this game, I can't see Cardiff scoring. And I can see Swansea. I'm going to 3-0 Swansea. I think it'll end 3-0. Or maybe 3-1. Maybe give Cardiff a goal. As O'Dowda, their left back, is charging away down that left-hand side. He's pulled down there by Key. And that's surely got to be a free kick for Cardiff. And he's not been given it. And that will not help Cardiff City, not just not getting the decision, but that will get the home support up for this game even more. He was sprinting away down that left flank there, O'Dowda, and it looked like he just got a slight pull on his arm, but the referee didn't see it as enough for a foul. And Swansea will try and go forward here with Eom, the right winger, keeping it in. Can he? No, he can't. Just touches loose out for a goal kick. Only 15 seconds. Yeah, sometimes there is a delay because that's just streaming. Sometimes you get a bit of a delay. So I do apologise if there's a tad delay. But for me, I'm on the 28th minute and the 30th second, if that gives you an inkling if you're watching the game yourself. Cardiff again playing out from the back. This is where they usually lose it, and they've lost it again. Ramsey giving it away, but he's been helped out by his teammate there of Darland, who just about works it slightly away, only as far as Franco for Swansea, but that could have been a lot worse. They almost lost it right on the edge of their own box there. Poor giveaway by Aaron Ramsey, the 33-year-old, who's come back to Cardiff at the back end of his career. It's his third spell at the club, came through their academy from 1999 to 2008, and then came back on a 1-month loan in 2011, and now he's back permanently and has been for the last season. Going into this season, it's now his second one back. It's Darwin, the Swansea centre-half, in the centre circle. Just allowed to bring it forward so easily. And then playing it in between the lines here for Cullen. Can't quite work it to Cooper. Cleared by Chambers. It's now Chris Willock who gets away from 2 Swansea players, but the touch is heavy. And it's Cabango to get it back for Swansea. Just less than half an hour in here. Still Swansea City 1, Cardiff 0. As you can see, commentary's coming up. We've got Wolves Burnley in the League Cup on Wednesday. And then West Ham Manchester City on the Saturday as Swansea getting behind the Cardiff defence. Just worked away from the edge of the 18-yard box here, Ronald, towards the corner flag. Good defending by Ng. as he wins it back off the Brazilian winger. And it's Ng now, looking for the next pass. He plays it forward. And he finds Kanga, who holds it up and tries to get it in behind for Meite. But Cabango's read that pass and he was already there to cut out the ball in behind. And Swansea have it back with Grimes. Plays the 1-2 with the left-back Simon. And it's Swansea who are dominating this game. But as I've said, I've watched plenty of Luke Williams and his footballing teams, not just at Swansea, but I watched him manage Notts County a lot. And the way he plays, it's so good. You know, it's passing play, it's possession, but they use it well. They try and work the best openings, but also don't mind going long and direct at times. Not like that, though, when Cabango switches it from his own half into the Cardiff half and kicks it straight out of play for a goal kick. But he's definitely a manager, Luke Williams, who just needs time. I think given a full season, you should hopefully see Swansea, you know, up towards the mid-table and maybe even into the top half if they can keep everyone fit and perform at a consistent level. It's Cardiff again, build from the back, right back in G, goes down over the challenge of Ronaldo, and it's gone his way for Perry and G. It's a free kick for Cardiff, who are still yet to score in this new championship season. That will need to change sooner rather than later. It must be said, because you don't want to get too far left behind. I know it's only early on in the campaign. It's Chambers, another high ball up towards Kanga, header won by Cabango. He's going to try and win the second header, and he will. But it also has Robertson for Cardiff. It's now Dowder on the halfway line at left back. Goes down the line for Willock, who gets there ahead of Key. And Willock found to be offside. That is so poor from Willock to be caught offside by that ball forward. He's literally right next to Josh Key. You know, just stay a little bit in front of him. Poor way to be found offside. It just gives Swansea possession once again. His last season under Williams, who came in the January, Swansea picked up 28 points from a possible 63. So again, it wasn't, you know, wins every week. There was bumps in the road, but I definitely think with time, Swansea will definitely see the positives of sticking with Luke Williams and, you know, make sure he is backed in the summer. And he has been able to bring in plenty of his own signings. Two of them that were brought in on Friday are on the bench in Nelson Abbey and Florian Bianchini. Swansea attack down the left, given away by Ronaldo, but cleared by Ng, straight back to Swansea's Franco. And it's out for a Swansea throw-in, just inside the Cardiff half on this near side. And it'll be Josh Timon with the ball in his two hands, the Swansea left back. Played every minute last season against Cardiff. It's now midway side the Swansea half with Cabango. Going across to Darling. Again, no press on him at all, so he's got all the time in the world here. Goes to Cabango again. And now with Vigouroux, the goalkeeper, who won Leyton Orient's Player of the Season 3 seasons in a row when he was at the now League One club. Won promotion with them from League Two as champions and then left to join Burnley for a season, where he didn't play any games for Burnley whilst they were in the Premier League. And now he's joined here for an undisclosed fee. Spent a couple of years at Spurs and Liverpool earlier on in his career. Lawrence Vigouroux. Swansea give it away with a diagonal ball out to the right. Header forward by O'Dowda. Willock inside to Robertson, who can't quite get away from Cooper. And Swansea attack again. Trying to go down their right-hand side here with Josh Key. Going around Robertson, playing it inside to Eon. Now back into the midfield to Grimes. Again, it's just too long on the ball for him. Giving them so much time. Plays it back out to the right to Eom Ji-sung. Back through to Grimes, the captain. Keeps it moving now, this time to the left to Darling. Now it's this near side. Everything to his right here for Ronaldo. Trying to drive inside onto his stronger right foot. Being forced away there by Meite. It's now back with Swansea in the centre circle with Cabango at the back for the Swans. Lifting it down the right-hand side here, where Cooper will chase it, but the pass is overhit. Bounces through for a Cardiff City goal kick. As those Cardiff City supporters are trying to get their team up for this game. Trying to lift them, because when they get the ball, they look really nervous, and it's like they're frightened to give the ball away, which is leading to them giving the ball away more often. Just need to try and relax if they can. I know it's difficult when you're playing a derby away from home. It's Horvath, the goalkeeper, goes long. It's a big kick towards Kanga. Can't touch it down for Ramsey. Falls for Ronaldo, who takes on Siopis. No, he can't take on the Greek midfielder. One back in the end for the Bluebirds as they attack down the right with Ramsey. Finding Siopis. Lifts it down the right-hand side here. In G. On once more for Mate, who will chase it. Darling gets there first. Again, goes down really easily. And the free kick goes his way again. Loves buying a free kick, does Harry Darling. And he's got away with it twice now. Two rather soft free kicks that he's got his way. It's just not a foul. He's just fell over. No way on earth that's a foul, and he's won both of them. As we're just less than 10 minutes away from half-time. And it's Swansea 1, Cardiff 0. A goal in the 10th minute from Liam Cullen is the difference so far. Swansea have it midway inside their own half here with Cabango. Again, just so much time on the ball. It's painful to watch at times. What are you watching the game on? I'm watching it on Sky Sports in the UK. There's Darling on the halfway line, lifting a ball out to the Swansea right-hand side. Header won there by Darland, but played forward by Key to Grimes. Cullen. It's now with Franco, well kept for Swansea in the midfield area. Cullen out to the right to Key, touch in front of him. There's plenty in the box for him to aim for, and he'll put the cross in. It's headed towards goal. That's flicked across by Ronaldo, and it will go through the opposite side for a Swansea throw. And I think the last touch came off a Cardiff man. Good delivery in there by Josh Key, who only started the away derby last season against Cardiff. He actually missed the head of Ronaldo completely and flicked off the right hand of Chambers and away. VAR, if there was such a thing in the Championship, they might have had a slight little look at that. But we carry on. Swansea in their own half of the ball with their captain Matt Grimes, former England under-21 international. Signed a 4-year contract extension in August of last year. Never scored against Cardiff in 10 previous games against them. Matt Grimes. Grimes in the centre circle. So much time on the ball again. He's looking out to this near side for Swansea. Goes forward instead to Ronaldo. Just dropped inside. Loses out to Ng. And it's now with number 15, Wilfred Kanga, on loan from Hertha Berlin. Into the space for Willock. Kanga continues the run. And he's been found here. Kanga in the area. On his right foot. Shooting towards the top right corner. It's not far away. And it's certainly Cardiff's best opportunity of the match so far. And we're just about to hit the 38th minute. Really good 1-2 between Kanga and Willock. And it was Wilfred Kanga who got the shot away. Tried to bend it to that far corner. And he's not missed by much at all. Bit of a frustrating game so far for the number 15 striker, Wilfred Kanga, who's just had to feed off scraps. But the first real sniff at goal he's had, he's not gone too far away. And it remains 1-0 to Swansea, who have absolutely dominated. I'd say the first 5 minutes was even in terms of the way it was scrappy. Like, no one was really on the ball. It was kind of both teams having spells of possession but not really doing anything. You know, misplacing a couple of passes. But for around the last half an hour, it's been all Swansea. Ronaldo on the right wing this time, going around O'Dowda and crossing it out of play. Goal kick for Cardiff, but he does look dangerous. Ronaldo, the Brazilian winger, who's just drifted to the right-hand side this time. Maybe a switch of wings between him and Eom Ji-sung. Callum Chambers, the right centre-half, going to Ng, the right-back. Swansea pressing high. Chambers again, forced to go long down the right-hand side. It goes beyond a couple of players and then through to Darling on halfway, who's got all the time in the world to control it. And again, Swansea can dictate play from the back. Played 50 games last season, Swansea, in all competitions, won 17. Knocked out in the FA Cup 4th round by Bournemouth away, and then knocked out in the League Cup 2nd round by Bournemouth, but at home. So they'll be hoping to avoid Bournemouth in the cup competitions this season. As it's still Swansea on the ball, on the edge of the 18-yard box with the goalkeeper Lawrence Vigouroux, who has always given away the ball, and Robertson plays it forward towards Ramsey, and it's Vigouroux to get there on the edge of the area, slices the clearance away, drops to Mate. Cardiff still have it. Mate tripped to the ground there by Liam Cullen, And it'll be a Cardiff free kick. Big let off there for Lawrence Vigouroux, who was sloppy in the possession. And he was rather fortunate he's got away with that. 5 minutes left of the first half. It's still 1-0 Swansea. Tried to play it into the midfield there to Cooper. And it was Robertson to get there and poke it forward towards Ramsey, but the pass just had too much on it. Ramsey couldn't quite get there first, but they have won a free kick. About 10 yards inside the Swansea half, so it's quite far away from goal, but it's definitely an opportunity to launch this one into the box. And that will be what happened by Robertson. Puts it into the area, and it's played towards goal by Kanga. Couldn't get real contact on it. Rather tame shot in the end. And it remains 1-0 to Swansea. Less than 5 minutes of this first half left to play. Thanks to everyone who's here. If you could like, subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Like I say, got 3 commentaries coming up next week. We've got Wolves Burnley in the League Cup on Wednesday. West Ham Manchester City on the Saturday. And then on the Monday, we've got Salford taking on MK Dons in League 2. So back focusing on the play at the minute. On the pitch at the Liberty. Darling again. Going down, looking for a foul. And it's never a foul. And he's touched it with his hand. Needs to be careful, Harry Darling. Because he keeps going down looking for free kicks. And the first 2 he got, but that one he didn't. And it's another chance from a much wider area for Cardiff to cross this in. It's going to be put in again by Alex Robertson, who they have signed this month from Manchester City on a permanent deal. And with a right-footed ball, he gets it in towards the 18-yard box. It's had to be flicked on by Ramsey, cleared in the end. Tried to be put back forward by O'Dowda. And it's now Siopis. Gives it away, looking for Darland. Back to Siopis as it was cleared by Swansea. In the centre circle with Robertson. Then forward by O'Dowda. Darland touches it down with his chest, and he's been seen as onside. He tries the roulette into the box, and he almost completed it. He'll win a throw-in in the final third. That was some good skill there from Jesper Darland, their new Norwegian centre-back signing. Playing in the left wing position there and doing the roulette and almost getting around Josh Key. Beautiful bit of skill. Almost. But they have got a throw-in here. As Cardiff are looking to equalise before the break. Long throw goes into the area here. Nodded down by Cabango and cleared eventually there for Swansea by Franco. Well, as far as Chambers. Lifts it back out to the left-hand side towards Willock, who controls it. And the last touch comes off Key, and it's a corner kick for Cardiff on the far side. Chris Willock applauding the Callum Chambers pass. And just the last couple of minutes, Cardiff looking like they could actually do something going forward. Not exactly testing the goalkeeper, but at least they're giving Swansea something to think about here late on in the first half. As again, it looks like their designated set-piece taker, Alex Robertson, will take this one once again. First ever season playing in the Championship for the Australian. He crosses this into the 6-yard area, and it's well caught by Vigouroux in his all-yellow kit in goal for Swansea. Keeps hold of it, falls to the ground. Well held. It's like glue on his gloves there. Never looked like he was going to fumble that. As he drops it to the ground eventually. Swansea's 22. And goes to Darling. And then back to the goalkeeper of Lawrence Vigouroux. As mentioned before, won the League 2 title 2 seasons ago with Leyton Orient and won the Golden Glove in that season. As Darling gives it away to Ng. Right back for Cardiff. It's now Siopis. Down the right-hand side here for Meite, who will chase it down. Darling will get there ahead of him. He's going to try and shield this out. It's kept in, though, by Meite. And it's found Ramsey in the corner of the box. Puts it to the far post. He can't quite get it to Willock. And it goes straight through here. And Swansea can attack down the far side with Ronald. Pokes it to Key. Tries to return it to Ronald, but it comes off Darland. And it will be a throw-in just inside the Cardiff half here for Swansea. Tried to shield that out on the play there. Harry Darling. But it was kept in by Meite, who got around him and just about kicked it back in play for Ramsey, whose ball was poor. Almost coming up to the 45th minute. Still Swansea leading by a goal to 0 here. Cardiff looking slightly better in the last couple of minutes, but again, nothing exactly clear cut. As Darling brings it out from the back for Swansea. Playing it into Timon, the left back who tries to turn but runs straight into traffic of Ng. Again, Cardiff have it. We've got a minute left to play because that's what's been added on by the fourth official of Keith Stroud. Robertson in the centre circle here for Cardiff, going out to the left, finding O'Dowda. Back to Darland. Then across to Chambers. Finding centre-back partner again of Darland. Chambers going to the right here to Siopis. Takes on Eon. Tries to take him on, but tripped. And that'll be a free kick. Taken quickly. And Cardiff get the ball moving again. 20 seconds left of the first half here. It's Callum Chambers, midway side his own half. Going to his right to Ng. Back into Chambers. Really good pressing from Swansea. Not allowing Cardiff to go forward. And if they try and go forward, it's not an easy ball. And Ng tries it into the space. It's a header out of play by Timon. And that'll be a throw-in for Cardiff City as we've played the minute of added on time. And that is where the referee will blow for half-time here. And it's Swansea who lead by a 1-0. They were 1-0 up in the last derby here at the Liberty Stadium thanks to a Liam Cullen goal. And it's the same story once again. 10 minutes in, Liam Cullen putting in a rebound from a couple of yards out. It was a shot from the left-hand side of the box by Ronaldo, the Brazilian winger. And it was well saved by Horvath, who got a strong left hand to it, but could only parry it into the 6-yard box where Cullen was waiting to pounce and could not miss from a couple of yards out, slamming it into the back of the net to give Swansea a lead. And they have absolutely dominated the possession in this game. Had a couple of chances here and there. But Cardiff, just towards the end of that first half, were starting to get themselves back into the game a little bit. A bit more of the possession, looking to try and get closer to the Swansea 18-yard box, but yet to really challenge Lawrence Vigouroux in the Swansea City goal. So here at half-time at the Liberty Stadium, it is Swansea 1, Cardiff City 0. Definitely a mixed half for Cardiff, it must be said, because they were so poor throughout that first half. I think they're probably thinking they're a little bit fortunate to just be 1-0 down. It could have been a lot heavier, but they have started to play a little bit at the end of that first half. Again, nothing extraordinary, nothing that's really worrying Swansea, but at least they can show they can get themselves on the ball. Just need to look a little bit more dangerous when they do go forward. If you are leaving for half-time, make sure you do return for the second half, which will be getting underway in 15 minutes' time. While we wait for the second half, we'll put on the ending of Bournemouth-Newcastle, which is 1-1. So Bournemouth 1, Newcastle 1, about to hit the 90th minute. And we're commentating on Chris Willock, and here's Joe Willock for Newcastle. Not quite sure who scored for Newcastle, because I know they were 1-0 down for the majority of the game. I know Chelsea are also winning quite heavily at the moment. They're winning 6-2 away at Wolves, Chelsea. So Maresca knows what he's doing. He's giving Rayesh almost gets the winner for Newcastle. About 25 yards out, left-footed. He's aimed for the top left corner there, Guimaraes. And fellow Brazilian Neto's really had to get across and parry that over. That's a great save and a decent attempt. But Chelsea 6-2 up. That is absolutely unbelievable. Madueke with a hat-trick. Palmer's got 1 and 3 assists. Wow. So it looks like Chelsea might be able to play in the Premier League under Enzo Maresca. Trippier crosses in for Newcastle here. It's headed away for Bournemouth. Isak touch is not great. But play back out to the left. It's Trippier again. Touch isn't great himself. But takes on the Bournemouth man. Trippier needs to get it back in. Oh, it's a heavy one. Headed away. Put back in though by Almiron. Joe Linton. Tackled. Cleared for Bournemouth in the end. Who scored? Anthony Gordon scored for Newcastle. That's why it's 1-1. Trippier putting it back in again. Dan Burn can't win the header. And it looks like Bournemouth will look to try and break here. But make sure you definitely do return for the second half of Swansea Cardiff. Like I said, we're just watching the ending of the Bournemouth Newcastle game whilst it's half time. And it looks like Bournemouth might have the winner here. Oh, it's Pope with the save. Pope with a brilliant save on Sinistera. Just put on the screen that it's half time so no one's confused. So half time at the minute. 1-0 to Swansea. Swansea definitely are liking this fixture against Cardiff. They've won 6 of the last 8 against them. Looking to make that 7 out of 9. So late corner here. Played 2 of the 4 added on for Bournemouth, and they've got a corner, the home side. Crossed in by Cook, and the header's in. Bournemouth have won it late. Newcastle will be absolutely furious that they've conceded a last-minute goal from a corner. I think that's Altara with the goal for Bournemouth. I couldn't quite make out who that was. I think it's Altara with the goal. I mean, it's a great delivery in. And it's a good header into the bottom right corner. But that is shambolic defending, that. From Newcastle United. 6 yards out. Zonal marking. Altara just almost just ghosts in alone. And in it goes. Dan Burn doesn't win the header, which is a shock because he's 6'7". Dan Burn doesn't go for the jump. He goes for like the back. He almost tries to shoulder into Altara instead of just jumping and winning the header because he's 6'7". Strange from Dan Burn. But it is Bournemouth at the Vitality who have just nicked a late winner. Oh no, but VAR's checking it. Possible handball. Did it come off the head of Altara? I think it came off his shoulder. I wouldn't say that's handball. Came off his shoulder up here. Up here off his shoulder. For me, that's not handball. But knowing with my luck, it'll probably be disallowed by VAR. But yeah, make sure you are back in about 10 minutes' time, though, for the second half of Swansea Cardiff. And if anyone's got any score predictions for the second half in the Swansea Cardiff game, let me know. I've said 3-0, but also said 3-1 to try and be nice for Cardiff. Oh, they're giving it handball. Oh my days. So it's actually still 1-1. I can't believe he's disallowed that goal. Yeah. Iraola, the Bournemouth manager, is absolutely seething. He's going to be booked. This is where it annoys me. Referee with the power, it annoys me. Because Areola is now getting booked for his reaction. And he's got the right reaction because his team's just been disallowed a last-minute winner for a handball that isn't handball. It's come off like the, you know, where the Premier League badge is, like where the sleeve cuts off. I thought that wasn't handball. That's an awful decision. That's an awful decision. The Premier League is up there with one of the worst leagues in the world, officiating-wise. We might have the worst. How's that handball? That's criminal. But I would love Newcastle to go on and get a winner, because that would be quite funny. That is shocking. Oh my, if Newcastle win this. Willock's going forward with it. Going to the left here. Barnes on his right foot, crosses it in. Oh, it's caught by Neto and then brought to the ground by Joe Linton. Gets him round the neck. Joe Linton yellow carded. But I cannot believe that goal's been disallowed for handball. Certainly not for me. But Chelsea winning 6-2 at Wolves. I know Wolves aren't very strong at the moment. They've lost Kilman and they've lost Neto to Chelsea, who I think's assisted one of the goals. Lost Kilman and Neto, and not really replaced very well. But Iraola is absolutely seething here, and he might be sent off by the referee, David Koo. But he's got every right to be absolutely fuming, because that is no way a handball. He's been sent off. Been red carded. But then again, I completely get his frustration because that is never, ever, ever a handball. So a lot of drama at the end of this Bournemouth-Newcastle game. It's actually not the Bournemouth manager who's been sent off. It's one of his assistants. Clever. Get him to do the arguing so he gets sent off and not the manager. But Bournemouth are in. Oh, they're almost in. Oh, it's pinging around on the edge of the area. Semenyo with the shot. Blocked. What an end to the game we've got here at the Vitality. Bournemouth will feel absolutely robbed. That's for sure. Very scrappy, and it's Bournemouth who win the free kick in the end. Wow. If anyone else has seen that disallowed Bournemouth goal, I'd love to know your opinion on it as well, because I can't believe that's been given as handball. To be honest. So it looks like Bournemouth might have one roll of the dice. They added 4 minutes on, and we're in the 98th minute. So we're nearly double the added on time. Ball goes in, headed on. And headed away by Joe Linton. And that is full time. So, at the Vitality, Bournemouth 1, Newcastle 1. And, it's going to be a little bit nervy here when the Bournemouth manager, Iraola, goes to speak to the referee. Because I think what he was annoyed with, Iraola, I think he was annoyed with the fact that the referee didn't go and have a look at it. VAR disallowed it, the people in VAR. Whoever that, I'm not sure who it is because I'm not commentating the game, so I don't know. But they disallowed it. They didn't let the referee go and have a look. Neto's fuming. Here we go. The Bournemouth captain is absolutely furious. Referee telling him to go away. Again, referee using their power. Does my head right in. Newcastle players should really be hugging the referee for that goal being disallowed. Here we go. Cameras on him. Doesn't say a word. Boring. Premier League's gone. Usually, when you get like Neil Warnock, who just stands in front of the referee and just stares him down. None of that these days. Iraola just shaking his hand and getting on with it. But Bournemouth have been robbed there. But Newcastle won't care. They nick a point away from home there at the Vitality. As the second half of this South Wales derby, we'll be getting back and underway in a couple of minutes' time. It's been Swansea who've dominated the possession and the chances. Cardiff just growing into it slightly at the back end of that first half, but then again, not doing anything of real danger. For Cardiff, they haven't scored yet this season in the league. Lost their first 2 games, conceding 7, and they've now conceded 8. So it's really not a good start for Cardiff, as they've got to try and figure something out. What they're struggling with most at the moment, for sure, is the Swansea press. The Swansea high press is suffocating them, where they have to go long, and their centre-backs have nearly won every single long ball so far. The Swansea centre-halves of Ben Cabango and Harry Darling. So they've got to sort something out. They've got to try and find a better way to beat this Swansea press. And it's more of a question as well if Swansea can keep up the press as well. Because, it can be quite a tiring way to play. But yeah, second half underway here in a couple of minutes' time. We'll see if any changes are made. I can't imagine any of the two teams making changes. Like I said, Swansea were pretty solid for the whole half, and Cardiff just started to look, again, slightly better at the end of the half. But for Cardiff, they do have a couple of players they could bring on who could cause some issues. They've got the new signing of Anwar El Ghazi. I think it's not a good signing. Released from Mainz because he had He had a bit of a legal problem with Mainz after one of his pro-Palestine Instagram posts, and he was banned by Mainz. But he's left the German side and he joined Cardiff here on a free. Got plenty of Premier League experience, Anwar El Ghazi, and Championship experience as well, promoted from the Championship with Aston Villa in the 2018-19 season. So they've got him on the bench. They've also got Ollie Tanner, who they brought in from Lewis 2 years ago. It is a famous story because he was playing for Lewis in the lower leagues of English football, and he actually had interest from Spurs but decided to join Cardiff instead. He scored against Swansea last season, Ollie Tanner, so they've got him as well. Also got Callum Robinson, a very experienced Championship striker, looking for his 50th Championship goal. So they've definitely got options on the bench, Cardiff. Just when they use that is a different question. Looks like Swansea are back out here for the start of the second half. So the difference between the two currently is number 20, Liam Cullen, who has been at Swansea since the age of 8. He knows exactly what this fixture means to the supporters. It's actually Swansea out first, and we're still waiting for the Cardiff starting 11 to get back out onto the pitch at the Liberty Stadium. But for Cardiff, it was weird though, because they didn't exactly have a bad pre-season. They played 8 games and they won 5, and they only lost 1 in pre-season. That was to Kidderminster, who are again in the lower leagues of English football. And here they come, strolling back out for the second half, led out by Aaron Ramsey. Need to try and get him on the ball a little bit more. He is the talisman, of course, for Cardiff, Aaron Ramsey. You know, unbelievable footballer, scored 40 times in the Premier League. Aaron Ramsey. Contract does expire here at the end of the season. He turns 34 on Boxing Day, so he is coming towards the end of his career. And it's just a matter of fact of how much desire does he have left to play. You know, at a high level, you know, the Championship is not an easy level to play at. It's exhausting, but it looks like he's willing to make the sacrifice of carry on playing and trying to get Cardiff back where he probably thinks they belong in the Premier League, but he's got a long way to go before any of that can happen. As we're going to get a kick-off it. Swansea 2 kick-off, kicking left to right. Cardiff right to left, attacking towards their away support, who were trying their best to get their team going in that first half. And we're back underway. Swansea with the ball. The captain Grimes going to the right centre half of Cabango. Now with the goalkeeper Lawrence Vigouroux, 30 years of age, first Championship season for the Swansea number 22 in between the sticks. And to be fair, for Swansea, they've lost 1 game this season, which was the opening game for them away at Middlesbrough, but they only lost due to a 25th minute penalty. So they've not, you know, conceded yet from open play in the Championship, which is a healthy stat to have, as Grimes goes for an audacious switch out to the left and he finds Ronaldo, who can control it well. The Brazilian winger, again, wanting to get onto his right foot, and he'll shoot from afar, and he's got that ball a far way from goal, very far wide and very high. And it will be a goal kick for Cardiff. Again, not scored here in the league at home. Ronaldo got his first home goal in the League Cup against Gillingham 12 days ago. So Cardiff will build from the back. Oh, sorry, I forgot the timer. Get the timer going. As it goes long by Horvath, the goalkeeper. Headed inside by Meite, the right winger. Chested down by Kanga, and then Ramsey plays it forward here for Willock, who will chase it down, but he can't quite get the ball ahead of Key, who plays it to Vigouroux, the goalkeeper, who clears it up into the sky. Ng heads forward, can't be flicked on by Ramsey, but he wins the second ball with the header. Robertson to Kanga, can't release it, and it deflects off Darling. And it's now Swansea back in possession in their own half. An almost opportunity there for Cardiff as they do win the ball back. Ng putting pressure there on Ollie Cooper. And it's Cardiff ball with the throw-in on the far side in the Swansea half. As Ng deflects off a Swansea player, and then Ramsey lifts it down the right-hand side where Meite is offside in a left-back position. It's a Swansea free kick. Again, not good enough there by Yaku Meite, who for Reading in this division had a really good goal-scoring record. He scored 37 goals in 102 Championship appearances from 2018 to 2021. but he's joined Cardiff last season from Reading on a free and just not really found his goal scoring form. Just scored twice for them in 40 previous appearances as Swansea are starting to build into this game once again in the second half. Siopis this time committing the foul on Ollie Cooper. Free kick for the Swans. Manolis, Siopis, the 30-year-old Greek central midfielder, getting an explanation from the referee why that was a foul, despite his disagreement. Again, the timer, I do apologise, I just keep forgetting. We are just 3 minutes into this second half. It's still Swansea 1, Cardiff 0. Again, Swansea just taking a few minutes to get themselves back into the rhythm of their game as they make it to this near side with the right back Key. Key driving inside. Playing it back to the halfway line here to Darling. Grimes in between the lines. Good ball there to Timon. It's now Ronald, the winger, playing it inside. Franco wanting the 1-2 with Ronald, who controls it in the air and gets the shot off as well. Off balance, so quite far wide in the end and a bit too high. But good link up there between Ronald and Franco with the 1-2. Causing a little bit of confusion there for Cardiff. Darland for Cardiff. Robertson into the space for O'Dowda. That's a brilliant ball, and O'Dowda will get there ahead of Cabango, and he'll go around him. O'Dowda in the final third. Getting a cross in. It deflects, and it's cleared away by Darling. And then Grimes slices a clearance away, and Siopis will pick it up for Cardiff. Midway inside the Swansea half. Ng takes over. Now Ramsey. Back through for Ng in the area. Tries to get it across, but it deflects off Cooper. And that'll be a corner. Cardiff fans behind the goal there celebrating that corner almost like a goal. Good link up there between Ramsey and Ng. And it's a chance to get this in the box for Cardiff City. Looks like it's going to be an outswinger here from Alex Robertson. This ball needs to be right. The last one he put in went straight to the goalkeeper's hand. This one's better. Flicked away, though, at the near post by Grimes. Drops to the edge of the area to Willock. Being forced away from goal. But tripped, though. Is he there by Franco? Yes, he was. Foul on the left wing here for free kick for Cardiff. Well worked there by Chris Willock. Ball went into the near post. Couldn't be dealt with by Franco. But he did force Willock out wide. But as Willock tried to turn him, he was just caught by the Swansea number 17. And that's a rightly given free kick by the referee, Oliver Langford. And again, brilliant opportunity this for Cardiff to cross it or shoot. Again, it's to the left side of the box. The angle's tight for the shot. But Ramsey with his right foot might fancy challenging the goalkeeper here. Cardiff picking up where they left off at the end of the first half. Not amazing, but looking like they could ask Swansea some questions in this game. Plenty of bodies in the box for Cardiff, and of course nearly everyone back for Swansea to keep the ball out of the back of the net. It will be the right foot of Ramsey to put it in towards the goalkeeper, but it's not even met him. It's headed away by Cullen at the near post. Waste by Ramsey. It'll be another throw-in though for Cardiff, but again, needed to be better by their best player. There's a throw-in by O'Dowda. Held up here by Kanga, but can't do much more with it. Tackle cleared, but Darland for Cardiff keeps it alive. Siopis lifts it into the box here. Mate's going for it, but it's going to go into the hands of Vigouroux, who can throw it out to the Swansea left. Just about got their Timon ahead of Siopis. It's now Cooper, back forward for Timon. Forward from fullback, into the space here for Ronald. In the final third, into the box, tries to slip the ball through for Cooper. Just overhit. And into the sliding Ethan Horvath. He'll try and get the Bluebirds attacking as quickly as possible with Ramsey keeping it away from Franco. Surrounded by 3 Swansea shirts. Ramsey battling. And the free kick's gone against him. He ended up picking the ball up because he thought he was fouled. And Aaron Ramsey can't believe it. It was given to him, and then he just needed to release it a little bit quicker there, Aaron Ramsey, but then he was just swarmed by Swansea shirts. And like I say, he just grabbed the ball with his arm thinking he'd won the free kick, but it's actually gone against him instead. So Grimes has stood over it. And Franco, who was one of those players closing down Ramsey, looks like he may have hurt his left arm here. Not sure if a stud's maybe caught his arm, or it's maybe dislocated slightly. Not too sure. Try to see if there's any stud marks maybe. Yeah, just a stud mark there. Be a bit of a sore one for their new number 17, Gonçalo Franco, who's a former Portugal under-20s international. Born in Porto and spent 4 years at the club. Played 82 times, Franco, in Portugal's top division. There's Cullen. That's the only goal of the game so far. His first shot was scuffed and it fell straight to Ronaldo, who had the shot 6 yards out across goal, right-footed, well saved by Horvath. And as he parried it into the danger area, it was Cullen to get there ahead of O'Dowda. And that's why Swansea have a 1-goal lead at the moment. Just less than 10 minutes into the second half. We're going to get back underway with the ball. Delivered in for Swansea. It's a great ball in towards Darling, who won the header. A couple of yards wide in the end. Goal kick for Cardiff. See if Gonçalo Franco will be coming back onto the field of play. Chambers for Cardiff. Midway side his own half. Finding Ramsey. Then going to Siopis, who just parked himself in between the two centre-halves. Still waiting for Franco to come back on the pitch. So Swansea down to 10 as Cardiff attack down the left. It's a great ball to Willock. Willock has it. Running one-on-one at Key. Willock round the outside. Crossing it in. Header away from Cabango. It's a good diving header. It's now Eom, who keeps it in. No, for Swansea, can't quite keep it in. Just overran it in the end. And that'll be thrown for Cardiff. Taken quickly. Darling, the centre-half. Bringing it past one. Trying to release it. Tackled though by Franco, who's back on the pitch. And now Swansea can try and break with Franco playing it down the right side, but out of play. And it's a throw-in for Cardiff on this near side. Just inside their own half. It'll be taken by the number 11 of Callum O'Dowda, who scored just 1 goal last season. And it was the 100th minute winner against Ipswich at home when they won 2-1. He missed the first half of the season with a groin injury, but then came back and scored that winner against Ipswich. In the 10th minute of added on time, he's giving it away though on halfway. Eom Ji-sung now completes the 1-2 and he attacks down the right-hand side. Can Swansea get a second? Eom with a miscalculated cross over the bar. And it's out for a goal kick for Cardiff. It looks like Swansea are readying a change at some point. It's not going to happen yet. As Cardiff play out from the back and Ramsey's ball does go back to Horvath. Now Chambers controls it on that far side. Ramsey playing it back inside to Chambers. 2 former Arsenal players linking up. Horvath forward to the edge of the area to Robertson. Just about releases it back out to the right to Chambers, but too much is on it. And it goes out of play for a throw-in in the final third for Swansea. Cheap giveaway. Cardiff have struggled all day playing out from the back, and they continue to try and do it. Because to be fair, when they go long, they never win the first ball anyway. As Cooper for Swansea tries to cross it, but he miscues it. It doesn't curl in, it curls away from goal instead. It can be kept in, though, by Key, as far as the left-back for Cardiff of O'Dowda. Gets rid. High ball down the left-hand side for Cardiff. Header forward by Cabango. Controlled by Franco. And plays it back to Darling. And it's Swansea back on the ball in the centre circle with their captain, Matt Grimes. Good ball forward, but then it's picked up there by Siopis. Good holding midfield play there to beat time into it. And Mayte can charge down the right flank it. Brought to the ground by Ronaldo. Fairly, says the referee. Good defending again by the Brazilian winger. Does have that good defensive work ethic. Gets back plenty of times. And again, they're giving it away. Grimes straight to Mayte. And it's now Ramsey on the right wing. Needs to get it in the box, but he plays it to the edge of the area instead. Siopis. Throwing for Cardiff. Just overran there by Franco. As the change is going to be made here for Swansea. And they're going to bring off their number 10. And rightly so. He's been very quiet. Their new South Korean signing, Eom Ji-sung, who was brought in from Gwangju for an undisclosed fee. He will be replaced here. Was brought off on this minute against Preston in the last game, so maybe it's similar to that game against Preston where he's just not really had that much of an impact. So Eom Ji-sung is replaced by the number 47 of the Scottish winger Azim Abdullahi, who's already scored twice this season, once against Preston off the bench in the last game, and he also scored in the League Cup against Gillingham. So he's got goals in back-to-back games for Swansea. And Cardiff are going to make a change of their own here. Didn't quite see who came off and who came on there, but we'll find out shortly. As the throwing by G taken straight to Kanga, who miscontrols it and out for a goal kick for Swansea. Try and see what change that was made there by Cardiff. Number 27 has come on, which is Ruben Colwill. Just not quite sure who's come off for Cardiff. I'll try and find out as soon as possible what Ruben Colwill has come on for Alex Robertson, the new signing from Manchester City. He's only making his second appearance. He played 60 minutes in the League Cup victory for Cardiff against Bristol. Didn't feature against Burnley. So maybe just a lack of minutes there for Robertson. So he's been replaced. Swansea have it forward here. Franco battling in the midfield but loses it to Willock. Going towards the left wing position, still in his own half here. Willock surrounded by white shirts again and very little blue shirts around him, but he'll do it on his own and he'll win a throw-in. Really well won there by Chris Willock, midway inside the Swansea half on the near side. Like I said, very little support around him, but still managed to win the throw-in there. So it's a throw-in for Cardiff with half an hour to play. It's O'Dowda waiting for the right movement. Taking his time with this throw-in. Throws it here to Kanga, the striker. Putting it back to the halfway line here to Chambers. And then all the way back to the goalkeeper of Horvath. That's a shocking throw-in. Should be doing so much better than that. Horvath goes long out to the right-hand side to Mate. Header won though by Timon for Swansea. And it comes off Mate. And it's a Swansea throw-in. Not good enough there for Cardiff. They've barely looked like scoring all day in fairness. They've had one half decent chance through Wilfred Kanga in the first half, who nearly bent it into the top right corner. Bar that, they've had very little to offer going forward. And Swansea have it on the edge of the 18-yard box with their goalkeeper Vigouroux. Yeah, Swansea lost 6 of their last 10 home games last season, but they want to try and make this place a bit more of a fortress. Like I said, with 2 wins from 2 at home here, if they can see this result through. And Cardiff don't really draw many games. They only drew one of their last 22 games in the league last season. So they either win or lose. There's not really any in-between for Cardiff in recent games. As they've got it back here, long ball for Swansea. Falls straight there to Jesper Darland, who almost loses it there to Abdullahi, but gets it down the line to O'Dowda. Tripped there by Franco. And that'll be a free kick for Cardiff, just inside their own half on this near side. Thank you to everyone who's still here. Really good, healthy amount of people watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Next commentary coming up on Wednesday, where we're covering Wolves, who have just been beaten 6-2 by Chelsea in the Premier League. They take on Burnley as O'Dowda gives it away. What a shocking free kick that is. Goes across his own half, and it's going to be played through by Cullen, but it's a great interception in the box by Ng. Cullen nearly slipping it through to Ronaldo. Swansea still have it, though. Franco will hit it from afar, and over the bar it goes. O'Dowda immediately apologises. That is a crazy free kick. Try to play it across, backwards. He just needs to go forwards. There's no reason he goes back there. Picked up by Cullen, who almost played the inch-perfect pass there to Ronaldo, but Ng on the penalty spot slid in and cleared, and then Franco had a shot which resulted in the ball flying over the crossbar. Swansea, if they do not see this game through and not pick up 3 points, they'll be absolutely kicking themselves. They've been the much better side. Cardiff have been rather sloppy, as it's a Swansea throw-in midway side their own half, near side, taken by their right back Josh Key. Just his second season in the Championship, as he joined from Exeter at the start of last season. Josh Key started his career at Torquay, taking his time with his throw-in. Swansea's number 2. Throws it into Franco, returns it to Key. Franco again, but they run out of room, and that'll be a Cardiff throw-in. Well won there by the Bluebirds to win the ball high up in the Swansea half. O'Dowda to take, waiting for a bit of movement here from the likes of Kanga and Colwell and Siopis and Ramsey and Willock. None of them really making a move. Now they do. Kanga gets it, holds it up well, then tackled by Franco. O'Dowda heads it inside, but straight to Cooper, who's brought down by Colwell fairly, according to the referee. And then Colwell, great ball out to the space, to the right flank here to Ng. Pulls it back to Colwell on the edge of the area. Can he cross it in the area towards the byline? Cross goes in, it deflects through, and it's gone all the way across. And it can be cleared here by Abdallah. Clearance isn't great, picked up by O'Dowda. Tries to recycle it in the box, comes off the back of Cullen, and a big challenge in there on Ng by Cooper, and he wins it. And then Franco can set Ronaldo away on the left-hand side. And there's a chance for Swansea on the break. 3 bodies are trying to enter the box as Ronaldo has it. In the area, from the left-hand side onto his right foot. Backheels it, or try to backheel it into the run of Timon. But he hit his own leg and eventually cleared by Cardiff. And the game's starting to open up here at the Liberty Stadium. That ball in from Colwell, which deflected over Cabango's head. But no one in the blue shirt could keep it in. But it looks like a positive start from the substitute. Ruben Colwell. Been at Cardiff since the age of 8. 25 to play, still 1-0 Swansea. Ball down the right channel, just inside the Swansea half for Colwell, who's dribbling with the ball well, finding Siopis. It's now Aaron Ramsey, who's just dropped a little bit deeper into the midfield for Cardiff since the change and since the introduction of Ruben Colwell. O'Dowda. Back to Ramsey, then back once more here to Darland. Then forward towards Colwell, can't quite control it. And the ball will slowly roll through, I think, for a goal kick, which will be slightly frustrating there for Cardiff. They would have liked to throw in. And they're going to make a change. Cardiff coming up shortly. Ollie Tanner, mentioned it before, but scored in Cardiff's win against Swansea last season at the start of November. Sorry, in the middle of September, sorry. And Swansea are going to make 2 changes as well. But not now. They'll be coming up soon. Josh Key throws it away for Swansea. As far as O'Dowda, can't find Colwell. Cleared for Swansea again. It's now Ronaldo on the right wing this time. Playing it into Abdallah. Going backwards to Key in the right back position. Being closed down by Willock. But he drives inside here, Key. And goes to Darling. And then lifts it forward towards Timon. He loses out the header. But it drops to a Swansea player who can lift it in behind the left-hand side. And it's Cooper with it. Playing it across to the right to Franco, 20 yards out. He's going to let fly, and the shot deflects, and it'll be a corner kick for Swansea. Game is certainly opening up as the rain starts to pour in this South Wales derby. About a quarter of the game left to play. Good block there by Jesper Darland. And we're going to get a double change for Swansea. They're going to bring on number 4, Jay Fulton, and number 9, Zan Vipotnik. So the first change will see Jay Fulton replace Gonzalo Franco. Jay Fulton coming on for his 260th Swansea appearance. He's been at the club now for just over 10 years, joining from Falkirk. He is a former under-21 Scottish international. So Jay Fulton comes on. And the second change will see Ollie Cooper be replaced by number 9 of Zan Vipotnik, who they brought in from Bordeaux on a free in August. Of course, you might have heard the troubles that Bordeaux are having in France at the moment, losing their professional status and having to release all their players of their professional contracts. He comes on. Came off the bench against Preston and scored, Vipotnik. And Luke Williams will be looking for his new number 9 to do the same again. But thank you to everyone who is here. Great amount of people in the stream. Make sure you like, subscribe if you haven't already. From the corner, it's an outswinger to the penalty spot where Darling goes for the header. Just doesn't quite have the pace and straight at the goalkeeper. As the rain has poured, I think the sun is starting to shine here. Darling won the header on Colwill, about 12 yards out, but again, right to the goalkeeper. As he has it with his feet now, goes to the left centre-half of Jesper Darland. Norwegian centre-back, left Norway to play his football in Belgium back in 2021. Now he's in, I say he's in England, he's in the English League in Wales to play for Cardiff. As they've got a throw in here midway inside their own half, near side. Be taken by Callum O'Dowda, who came through the Oxford Academy, the place he was born. Got over 200 appearances in this division. Callum O'Dowda, at the age of 29 now. Ramsey turns, tackled there by number 47, Azim Abdallah. Glasgow-born winger, came through the Celtic Academy, spent a few years at Leicester before joining Swansea in 2021, as we're eventually going to get this Cardiff change. And the Ivorian Yaku Mete will be replaced by number 32, Ollie Tanner. Spent time at Arsenal's academy. Rejected Spurs for a move to Cardiff, maybe eyeing some more first-team football. A better road through for him. And he comes on for the last 20 minutes here, as we've got 21 exactly to play of the 90. He's in the air on the halfway line, headed forward for Swansea by Cullen. Controls it down, and Abdallah takes over, shielding it, finding Cullen. Last touch there of Willock, who can keep the ball in, but Swansea win it back through Abdallah. And then Key, the right back, goes to the goalkeeper of Vigouroux. And with 21 to play, it is Swansea 1, Cardiff 0. Cullen, the only man with the goal in the 10th minute. A tap in from a few yards out. And G wins it back for Cardiff at right back, just being a bit too strong there for Ronaldo. Horvath is Cardiff play out from the back. The American goalkeeper. He's played 10 times for America, made his debut back in 2016 under Jurgen Klinsmann. But he's played in football in Norway, in Belgium, and England as well. Ethan Horvath. He's been promoted twice as well via the playoffs with Luton and Nottingham Forest. There's his long clearance up towards Kanga. Can't be controlled by the number 15. And Swansea have it in their own half, forcing it to the goalkeeper. Being pressed though by Tanner, but he can move it to the right centre half of Cabango. Takes it away from Willock. And to the right back of Key. Down the line. Finds Fulton in so much space. He takes it beyond the halfway line. Charging down the right flank here, Jay Fulton. He's got Abdallah in support. Plays it to him. He then goes into the middle towards Key. Who's got forward from right back. Grimes, the captain. Back to the halfway line to Cabango, and Swansea have possession once again. Nathan Tijoion, not in the matchday squad. Not sure why. Because he was in the he came off the bench against Preston and featured in the League Cup against Gillingham, so not quite sure why Nathan Tijoion isn't in the matchday squad. Not sure. I'm glad he wasn't, because his name's a bit of a mouthful. His name doesn't even look real. Swansea attack down the left here. Going to get an early crossing, are they? They're going to go for one. It goes through towards Vipotnik, who controls it. Plays it to his right to Abdallah, who tries to square it once more, and it's blocked by Darland. Willock now has it on the edge of the area. Plays it to their number 3 of Siopis. Cleared by O'Dowda at left back in the end, up towards Willock. Last touch comes off Grimes, and it'll be a throw-in on the halfway line for Cardiff. Really good touch down there, though, by Zan Vipotnik after the crossing from the left back of Josh Timon. But he tried to play it to the right to Abdallah. Just sent him a bit too far wide. The angle wasn't there for the shot, so he tried to square it himself there. Abdallah. But it was blocked at the near post. It looks like Cardiff are going to make a couple more changes here. Anwar El Ghazi and Callum Robinson will be the next to come on very shortly. O'Dowda can't get the return from the throw-in from Ramsey. And then played forward by Fulton with a sliding tackle. Out for a throw-in for Cardiff in their own half on this near side. But try and take it quickly if they can. They'll leave it here for O'Dowda. And before the throw-in, they won't make a change yet. O'Dowda throws it to Ramsey, then gets the return this time, then plays it forward, but a header away there by Key, controlled by Vipotnik, then plays to his left to Ronaldo, who's running towards goal. Can he play back through for the striker? Vipotnik with the touch in the box, it's just heavy, and it rolls out of play for a goal kick. Been quite the threat since coming on. Vipotnik, the Slovenian striker, scored 10 goals last season in the second division in France. Was in the Slovenian squad for the Euros as well as Zan Vipotnik. Came on once against Serbia. As Cardiff making more changes. Wilfred Kanga, the striker who's been rather isolated, will be replaced by Callum Robinson, who's now making his 51st appearance for Cardiff. Been now here for 2 seasons, coming up to his 2nd season now. And the other change we'll see Chris Willock come off for Anwar El Ghazi. So can these changes make the difference for the Bluebirds, who are still well in this game with 17 to play? It's only 1-0, even though Swansea have been much better and they've looked better. But Cardiff have kept themselves in it. As Vigouroux lifted ball to the halfway line to the Swansea left. It's controlled and played forward, but not to a Swansea player. Cleaned up at the back by Chambers. Horvath playing out from the back here for Cardiff. It's to Chambers just in the corner of the box on the right-hand side. Going back to Horvath. Then to his left to Jesper Darland, who only signed on Tuesday. Thrown straight into the deep end on his debut in the South Wales derby. Edge of the area now for Cardiff, playing it forward. It's now Colwell. Goes to the right here to Tanner on the halfway line. Cutting onto his left foot. Finds Ziopis on the halfway line. Keeping the ball moving. Darland. Forward into the Swansea half. It's a great turn by Robinson. And plays it into the space out to the right to Tanner, who's one-on-one with a full-back Timon. Tanner taking him one way and then the other, then putting it in low. And it's put behind for a corner. Tanner getting those away fans up for it. Looks like a really positive winger. Likes to run at players. And he was sending Josh Timon around in circles there. But the cross was well dealt with by Darling in the box. So it looks like it will be Tanner to deliver this in. With his left foot, it looks like it's going to be an in-swinger here. Darland's in there, so is El Ghazi in G. Making a little bit of a Cardiff train there in the 18-yard box. Tanner puts it in near post, and it's played back towards Tanner by El Ghazi. That should be a goal kick, and it will be. Just couldn't quite direct it on target there, El Ghazi. I believe the one who got the touch. Looked like he was flying in with a bit of a scorpion-like attempt. Swansea again looking to make more changes. One of the ones getting stripped and ready is Kyle Norton. They're very experienced right back. 35 years of age now. Has made over 300 appearances for Swansea. Swansea go long from the goal kick. In behind here towards Abdallah, who can't quite beat Horvath to it, who clears it outside of his 18-yard box. Headed out wide left by Robinson, but just goes behind El Ghazi. Thrown in their own half for Swansea. As the game at Anfield is also underway between Liverpool and Brentford, so we'll keep an eye out on that fixture, see what scoreline we get in there. They've literally just kicked off, and it's still 0-0. It's Cabango. Touch isn't great. Did he keep that in? He didn't. Cardiff throwing taken quickly to Robinson on the edge of the area, but the referee wasn't ready. And they'll have to be taken again. Cardiff throwing final third near side. I can't believe they're still in this game, but they are. They've not really done anything to threaten the Swansea goal. As El Ghazi now from the throw-in, trying to get it into the 18-yard box, but he nicks it off Josh Key, and it's another corner for Cardiff on this near side this time. They're going to bring on a lot of experience here, Swansea. Kyle Norton at 35 and then Joe Allen at 34. Those changes won't be made yet, but will be shortly onto the field of play. Crossing. It's a deep one. To the far post. It's a Swansea header that's been won, and he's also won a foul. Brilliant defending there by Ben Cabango, the Welsh international. And they're going to get the 2 changes now here, Swansea City. The first one will be a like-for-like swap. Right back for right back. Josh Key replaced by Kyle Norton, who signed a 1-year extension in May. To have another year here at Swansea. It'll be 10 years now. He's been at the club, joined in January 2015 from Spurs. He's got well over 170 appearances in the Premier League as well. And the second change, we'll see the goal scorer, I think, come off. Liam Cullen Right place, right time. Brilliant save by Horvath on the Ronaldo shot. But as he parried it into the 6-yard area, Cullen was there to blast it home ahead of O'Dowda. So the number 20 will be coming off here for the number 7 of Joe Allen, who has scored once in this fixture. Back in the 08-09 season. So it's been a while since he scored against them in the South Wales derby. But he knows all about this fixture, Joe Allen. Swansea somehow still need to see this game through. They should be well out of reach. Still only 1-0. As Al Ghazi heads it forward towards Robinson, midway side the Swansea half. It's cleared by Norton, his first action of the game. Cardiff want a flag up as he clears it long. Does the flag come? It never came, but they deal with it well through Perry and G. Now Colwill down the right-hand side here for Tanner. Cardiff certainly growing in this game. Tanner in the area, pulling it back. Robinson! And Cardiff have the equaliser. It's the substitute Callum Robinson with the goal. It's their first goal of the season in the league. The advertisement hoardings fall to the ground as the Cardiff City supporters cannot contain themselves as the South Wales derby is all square at 1-1. And it looks like Ollie Tanner, the right winger, has been injured as the advertisement hoardings fell to the ground. Something very similar happened yesterday when a ball boy got stuck under the advertisement hoardings against West Ham when it was Crystal Palace at home. So not a great look. It's a great finish into the bottom left corner though by Callum Robinson, who scores his 50th championship goal of his career. He was well won back by Ng in a right back area. They worked it to the right side with Colwill playing it through for Tanner, who was always that yard ahead of Timon. And instead of just putting it in the box and hoping for the best, he got his head up and saw Robinson just held his run. And from around 14 yards out, just a bit behind the penalty spot, all alone, just swept it across to that far corner, beating Lawrence Vigouroux in the Swansea goal. Errol Bullitt is absolutely delighted, the Cardiff City manager. And we have the game well and truly back on here at 1-1. Robinson with the goal off the bench. And as the advertisement hoardings fell, it fell straight onto Ollie Tanner. Ooh, and that's left a nasty mark on his right leg. I'm hoping he's okay to continue because he's going to try and run it off. Because he has changed the game here. Got the assist for the goal. He scored in this fixture last season as well when Swansea were defeated 2-0 by Cardiff. I'm surprised, in all honesty, that Ollie Tanner didn't start. Got an assist as well in the League Cup game off the bench as well when Cardiff beat Bristol Rovers. And it's 1-1 here. Swansea have dominated this game but could not get themselves clear of Cardiff. And it's given away again. Fulton to Colwill. Edge of the area. He's entered the box. Onto his left foot. Can he find the pass? Plays it behind him. And Siopis will strike it. And it's straight down the throat of Vigouroux. Cardiff wanting to take the lead now in this game. They've not looked bad in this second half, Cardiff. They've just done very little in terms of shots on goal until then, with Callum Robinson finding the bottom left corner. And it'll be so frustrating for Luke Williams because Cardiff have just looked second best. He's had his Swansea team set up really well. The pressing was really good as well. But it looks like the Swansea press and the intensity of the press just died down a little bit the more we went into this game. And Cardiff have found themselves an equaliser. So 8 minutes of the 90 to play. It's 1-1. We've got a Cardiff free kick just inside the Swansea half. But again, I think they might try and launch this into the 18-yard box if they can. In it goes to the edge of the area, towards Darwin, the centre half. It's taken away from him with a header from Chambers. It's Norton the right back. Oh, offside flag. I wondered what Norton was doing then, backheeling it into the edge of the area. But it's a free kick for Swansea, taken quickly and played back to the goalkeeper of Vigouroux. As Cardiff will want to win this now. They've not won here away from home since March 2021. That was a 1-0 win. They've not won many of these fixtures. 5 of the last 15 they've won as Cabango sends it straight out of play. Now it's Swansea who look on edge. And Cardiff are looking the more confident side. Cardiff are the only team left in the division without any points. At the minute they've got 1. They're going to try and make it 3. Long throwing from O'Dowda down the line. Flicked on by Robinson. Colwill kicks it in the air. He'll battle with Cabango. It's actually Abdullahi who wins the header. But Colwill was pulling Cabango's shirt off the ball, so the referee's given a free kick for Swansea. It's now Grimes playing to the left to Harry Darling. He will keep it in on the far side. Plays it forward here to Joe Allen, who's got Siopis closing him down. He goes back here to Grimes, who goes long down the left-hand side here, where the head has been won by Ng. Throwing for Swansea just inside the Cardiff half, still on that far side. Throwing back to Darling. And Swansea can build from the back. Lifted ball in behind. Abdullahi will chase it for Swansea. Darland will try and see it out. The last touch comes off the centre half, and that'll be a corner for Swansea. Well won there by Azim Abdullahi, who didn't give that up. Jesper Darland tried to see it out, but Abdullahi forced him into touching it behind, off his knee. So it's a set piece this time now for Swansea to try and turn this game back in their favour. It's going to be an in-swinger from the left boot of Grimes. In it goes. And it's straight to the hands of Horvath, who drops it and then regathers it. Holding the back of his head. Possibly caught, but that's a risky bit of goalkeeping there by Ethan Horvath, who has to keep hold of that. He didn't. He was able to regather it, but, you know, there's mistakes like that which cause sloppy goals to be given away. This time he got away with it. He stays down here, Horvath. Back of his head. May have just been caught. So as he caught the ball, he dropped it. And as he dropped it, Allen tried to kick it. And as he dived on the floor, he pretty much dived into the boot of a Swansea player. So the Swansea player did nothing wrong. I couldn't quite see which Swansea player it was, but Horvath dived forward and the Swansea player was just running back and he kind of just dived into his boot. So Horvath kind of injuring himself there, really. So having a little bit of a pause here in the game. It's Callum Robinson with his 50th championship goal of his career to get Cardiff level. It's his first ever goal as well against Swansea. And what a time to do it as well. Assisted by Ollie Tanner, who pulled it back beautifully. Robinson just held his run on the edge of the area. It's a great finish. Beyond Vigouroux is again the advertisement. Hoardings fell to the ground, fell onto the leg of Ollie Tanner, but he was okay to continue. So he's back to his feet here, Ethan Horvath. And he'll take almost like a free kick off the ground. Header won there by Abdullahi, but come off the head of El Ghazi and he drops to Colwill. Cardiff lifting it down the left with O'Dowda. Cleared by Cabango. Last touch there off Ramsey. And it's a throw-in for Kyle Norton to take it right back for Swansea City. Come off the bench in all 3 championship games so far. Kyle Norton. Cabango clears it long as he gets it from the throw-in. Fulton can't quite find Allen. Siopis gives it away though, and Allen then gets it back for Swansea. Halfway line, Vipotnik brought down. That'll be a free kick. Well won there by Zan Vipotnik, the Slovenian striker. Fouled there by Jesper Darland. So Grimes on halfway, taking the free kick short to Norton, returning it to Grimes, who's almost took up a right-back position himself here. It's now with Cabango. Back out to the right here to Grimes. 2 minutes of the 90 to play. I'm sure we'll get a decent bit of added on time, as it's now with Abdullah, the right winger. Going to try and run here at O'Dowda. Heavy touch, can't quite get around him. O'Dowda's going to try and shield it, but he can't keep it in. And Abdullah's won it back, but Ramsey comes to help out. Ramsey tries to flick it away and eventually works it to O'Dowda, who clears it straight off the head there of Grimes. Cleared again by O'Dowda, straight to the head of Allen this time. Norton, fouled by El Ghazi, not many complaints. So it looks like it was a free kick. And Swansea have it, taking it down the right flank. Abdullah, right-footed, crossing it deep here. It's a great ball in. Header won by Ng, who goes down looking for a free kick. Eventually it's helped away by Tanner. Up towards Ruben Colwill. Loses out the header to Darling. Goes straight through though to Ng at right back, who plays it straight out of touch for a Swansea throw-in. Looking for Ollie Tanner and couldn't find him. Throw-in taken. Thrown back to the halfway line to Harry Darling here. 1 minute left of the 90. Abdullah trying to take on O'Dowda, but O'Dowda wins it off him. Ramsey with a flick to El Ghazi, can't quite keep it in. It's unlucky. He apologises there, Aaron Ramsey, but it almost came off. Kyle Norton, the right back, goes to Cabango, then once more to the goalkeeper of Vigouroux. We're very interested to find out how much added on time we get here at the Liberty Stadium. Darling to the left back of Timon. Keeps it in on the far side. Goes into the midfield to Allen. Great ball forward to Vipotnik, who just plays it behind Fulton. Poor ball, but then won back by Allen. Tackled by Robinson, who plays it forward to El Ghazi. He's been tackled by Cabango, and he drops here for Vipotnik. Bursting into the box. Can he beat Darland to it? No, he can't. Brilliant defending by the Cardiff number 5, the new Cardiff number 5. Unfortunate there for Zan Vipotnik, as we've got 7 minutes added on here at the end of what has been a fantastic South Wales derby. Swansea the better team in the first half, and to be honest, Cardiff's probably been the better team in the second half. Swansea's press dropped off, their patterns of play fell apart, and Cardiff have definitely looked the more ambitious side in the second half, and they got 1 goal, and they're going to look for a second to win it. Horvath takes the free kick, lifts it high into the Swansea half. Header won by Cabango. Looks for Siopis. Heads it to his right to Ng. He's got Tanner in front of him, and he also has Colwill, who he finds on the edge of the area. He bursts into the box on the right-hand side. Can he get the cross right? Colwill deflects it off Darling, and it's a Cardiff corner on that far side, attacking that goal where their fans are situated, just behind it. And the scenes when they equalised were absolutely crazy. Imagine if they score a goal to win it. And they've got a great chance to do it right now. It's going to be an in-swinger from Tanner, who's already got 1 assist. Near post, it's low, and it's an easy clearance in the end by Vipotnik. He'll be chased down here by Ronald for Swansea. Siopis will beat him to it. And he'll go to the goalkeeper, Horvath. We played 90 seconds of the 7 minutes added on. Diagonally switches it to the left to El Ghazi, touches it, but the pass is short to O'Dowda, but he will beat Abdullah to it. Last touch off O'Dowda. How was that a last touch off O'Dowda? I'm not quite sure. Throwing for Swansea just inside their own half. Throwing back to Cabango, so they'll start from the back here. The Swans. Thanks to everyone who stuck around for this live commentary. Hope you did enjoy. Make sure you like and subscribe before the full-time whistle. Next commentary is on Wednesday. 7:30 kick-off, I believe. Wolves against Burnley in the League Cup second round. Allen with a header away on the halfway line. Headed back towards the Swansea backline by Darland. Header won by Cabango. Controlled by O'Dowda, but the touch is heavy. Norton picks it up, plays it out wide to Abdullah. Back into Norton. It's now Grimes. To the right to Abdallah. Right on the halfway line. Goes back to Kyle Norton. It's been very frustrating the second half for Swansea. Just an opposite performance from what they got in the first half. And it's now the Cardiff press, which is a lot better than the Swansea one. The Cardiff press was non-existent in that first half, and they just gave Swansea a little bit too much respect. That respect is now gone, and they've got themselves an equaliser. They've lost it. Ronaldo tackled by Ruben Colwill on the far side, and Cardiff regain possession in their own half here with Ollie Tanner finding the centre half of Jesper Darland. It's now with Callum Chambers, the former Arsenal centre-back. His last game against Swansea was back in December 2016. This is his first taste of Championship football in his career. Joining on a free from Aston Villa, Callum Chambers. It's the centre-back Darland who brings it forward, plays it down the line to O'Dowda. 1-2 with El Ghazi. O'Dowda in the final third gets it across, and it's dealt with by Darling. Robinson apologises because he feels like he should have been closer to the ball. It was a rather easy clearance in the end there for the Swansea number 6. But it's O'Dowda now with the ball from the throw-in. On his right foot, finding a cross. It's a good ball in off the head of Grimes, still alive in the area, where he's volleyed away by Joe Allen. Towards Vipotnik. Good touch down though by Chambers. In G, turning away from Ronaldo. Then out wide here to the right to Colwill. If anyone's going to win it, it's Cardiff. Colwill crosses. Deflects away off Darling. Still alive Ramsey, about 30 yards from goal. Got Fulton in front of him. Worked out to the left here to O'Dowda, their number 11. Goes on the outside of Abdallah, puts the cross in, header away. And drops to a Swansea man on the edge of the box. Cleared eventually by Grimes. 3 to play. Cardiff on top. Chambers with a header out wide left. Can't be helped on by Ramsey. And the Swansea team get the throw-in. Ramsey stayed down. The Cardiff manager, Errol Bullitt, isn't happy with that challenge on Aaron Ramsey. And the manager, Errol Bullitt, is quickly being pulled away by, I think, his 2 assistants of Tom Rasmussen and Nicholas Caridas. Might be sent off here, the Cardiff manager. The Cardiff manager claims he was being pulled there by the Swansea player Kyle Norton, who was just telling him to go back into his technical area. Thank you to everyone who's here. 40 people here for the last couple of minutes of this South Wales derby. He's going to send him off, isn't he? He has. Oh no, it's all going to kick off. The manager, Errol Bullitt, has been sent off there. Not quite sure what he's done wrong, really. He was keeping hold of the ball, but play wasn't going to continue because Aaron Ramsey was on the floor holding his head. He's not leaving. The Cardiff manager, who eventually will start making his way down the tunnel. That will only get the home supporters up for it even more. They don't want to turn the momentum of this game, Cardiff, because they're the team who look like scoring. I'm not sure if it was a foul there on Ramsey. They were both going for the header. And then the Cardiff manager, Errol Bullitt, just didn't let go of the ball. But again, the referee wasn't going to allow play to carry on because Ramsey was down holding his head. Oh, but then Ramsey got straight back up. Confusing, but we're back underway. We're going to have a bit more added on as it's Fulton on the edge of the area. Almost gets past Chambers in the box. Still alive for Swansea, but it's given away. El Ghazi picks it up. A minute of the 7 left added on as Joe Allen cynically takes down El Ghazi. That will be a yellow card for Joe Allen. But yeah, we've played 6 of the 7 added on. We'll play, I think, a few minutes more just due to that red card for the Cardiff City manager of Errol Bullitt. The Turkish manager, German-born, but represented Turkey. So Joe Allen booked first of the season in the league for the number 7. Who's back at Swansea for his second spell at the club. So Horvath, midway side the Cardiff half here, will just launch this forward, the goalkeeper. And he does just that, up towards the edge of the area. Free header for Grimes, though, for Swansea. Helped away by Abdallah. Volleyed by Darland. It flecks and bounces off the head of Allen. Put into the sky by Siopis. Headed away, though, by Darling for Swansea. It's the halfway line where Ng heads it forward to the right winger of Tanner. Tackled by Timon, but the ball drops there in the end for Colwill. Keeps it away from Allen. Inside to Siopis. Switch out to the left. El Ghazi heads it inside. Cleared, though, by Cabango. One back, though. Abdallah tackled. Robinson plays it through, or tries to play it through to El Ghazi in the box, but cut out by Cabango. It's a key interception. Now Grimes, the captain, trying to play it into the space down the right wing for Abdullahi, but it'll be Darland to deal with it. Left-footed clearance, straight to the chest of Grimes on the halfway line. Kicks it off El Ghazi. Kept in by Abdullahi, but as Grimes kicked it forward, it deflected off the hand of El Ghazi. And it's a free kick for Swansea, just inside the Cardiff half. And I think the captain, Grimes, is just going to absolutely launch this one into the box. We don't have long left now. We've played 8 minutes added on. There was only 7 indicated. But we did have a sending off for the Cardiff City manager as Grimes sends it into the box. It's inviting for the goalkeeper who lets go of it. It's still alive in the area. Ng tries to help it away. But there's an offside flag up anyway, I believe. Horvath went down anyway. And then Ng's now down. Bullied to the ground by Darling. The referee's got sorting out to do. I didn't quite see what happened there. Ng's holding the back of his head and it's all kicking off now at the end of this game. Handbags completely between Ruben Colwill and Harry Darling. The linesman is seeing all of this. So there's a free kick given for an offside, and I think maybe Ng tried to take it quickly and Swansea stopped him, shoved him to the ground, hit the back of his head on the ground. The referee, Oliver Langford's got some decision making to do here. There was a lot of pulling, shoving, shirt grappling. And we've played 9 minutes now of the 7. I'm not sure exactly if anyone's going to get any cards there. Harry Darland's Swansea shirt's ripped at the top. Didn't quite exactly see how Ng decked it there. So Perry Ng is going to be booked himself, and he was the one who ended up on the deck. Perry Ng wants to know what for. He's asking the referee what for, but he's getting no response. And then a yellow card for Harry Darling, the Swansea number 6. So no red cards there, a couple of yellows. So we're nearly entering the 100th minute. 7 were added on, we've played 10. Still 1-1 here. Swansea took the first half, Cardiff took the second. And they've both just managed to score the 1 goal. Let's have a look here. It was Ng who just trod on Darling, and then they both clashed heads, and then Ng went down holding his face. Yeah, it's just your usual handbags and just very silly behaviour. But that is going to be the full-time whistle in this South Wales derby. Oliver Langford blows the whistle for full-time, and it finishes here. Swansea City 1, Cardiff City 1. The emotions started to get out of hand a little bit there at the end, as it was so close going into the added on time. The game was there to be won for both, but in the end I do think a draw is probably the fair result in the end. Swansea took a 1-goal lead in the 10th minute of the game. Liam Cullen tapping in from a couple of yards out. And then with 10 minutes of the 90 to play, that's when Cardiff got their equaliser. Callum Robinson finishing into the bottom left corner, his first ever goal against Swansea and his 50th goal of his championship career. Swansea absolutely dominant in the first half, had all the possession. Cardiff looked a little bit lost of not really knowing what to do. That changed in the second half. The Swansea press died off and their patterns of play started to falter, and that's when Cardiff got on the ball more and started winning the ball in better areas and probably just about deserved their equaliser through Callum Robinson. Swansea will be very disappointed with the way they played in the first half and how they ended up finishing the game and having not taken all 3 points. For Cardiff, it's the first point of the season. They hadn't scored in the league before today and they hadn't had a point in the league, so at least they're not pointless anymore. They've got 1 on the board. They are still bottom, but it is something to work on for Errol Bullitt, their manager, who was sent off in added on time there just due to some shoving in all that with some of the Swansea players. It was all a little bit childish, if I'm going to be completely honest. But that's what happens in a derby sometimes. The emotions can get the better of some players, and it does cause a lot of excitement, especially at the end of the game. But we didn't get a winner. But like I said, I think just on the balance of play, I think a draw is just about fair. Like I say, Swansea were absolutely brilliant first half. Luke Williams will be absolutely devastated that his team haven't been able to add a second goal or a third, to see the game out. And they've just let Cardiff linger in the game a little bit too much. Do you know what I mean? Like they just, they've got to score a second there. But the fact it stayed 1-0 for so long, it just gave Cardiff that belief that they could nick a goal if the opportunity fell for them, and it did through Callum Robinson. And they got the equaliser, and they've got the point to take away in this South Wales derby. But hugely frustrating for Luke Williams, the Swansea manager, because his team played brilliantly first half, but in that second half they just could not continue that same vein of playing. Allowed Cardiff to grow into the game, and they nicked an equaliser, and it ends here 1-1. But thank you to everyone who did join, who stayed around and listened to that live commentary. I hope you did enjoy. I did enjoy that game. I thought that was a really exciting game, like you do get usually with derbies, especially when they end up being that close. Got 3 commentaries coming up within the next 8 days. We've got Wolves against Burnley in the League Cup second round on Wednesday, and then on Saturday at 5:30 we've got West Ham welcoming Manchester City, and on the Monday we have got League 2 action where Salford take on MK Dons. So thank you to everyone who did join in. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Here at the Liberty Stadium, it was Swansea who took the first half, and they were 1-0 up at half-time through Liam Cullen in the 10th minute. But as the second half came around, Cardiff grew into the game, Swansea dropped their levels, and with 10 minutes of the 90 to play, Callum Robinson scored his 50th championship goal to give Cardiff an equaliser. And that is how it stayed, despite a little bit of tension rising in added on time. Few emotions getting the better of some players. A red card for the Cardiff manager as well within that. But in the end, no one could find a winner. It stays all square and here at the Liberty Stadium. In this first South Wales derby of the season, it finishes Swansea 1, Cardiff City 0. That's Cardiff City 1. 1-1 it ends.